Well, you bring up a fascinating point here, which is I didn't recognize this. Other people have recognized this. That it's the strangest thing because sports ball is the home of the manly men, whereas the video game community, the nerds, the geeks, the pencil necks, and yet the SJWs have invaded both of these realms. The gamer gators fought back, and the sports ball people have just let it wash all over them. Why did that happen?
I think so. I mean, I think it's probably because the gamers are more. I think Gamergate happened because it's a community that's more focused online in message boards and in these communities where they share the highlights of themselves playing video games, whereas sports is still a little bit of an older community that's not as internet savvy.
Yeah, but you got fantasy football and all the rest of the sports, and these people are very internet savvy.
You do. I don't know how much that they the fantasy sports people, I'm not sure that they are as into I'm not sure that they watch ESPN for political cues, or I'm not even sure that they watch ESPN or Fox Sports at all. That it's just, on the fantasy sports websites, the only news you're seeing is how many hits and who's injured and for how long. So, I mean, you can kind of abstract it away.
Well, it just seemed that, with the rise of fantasy sports, became a 24/7 thing. And I'll have to admit that many years ago, during a particularly sad period of my life, I was one of those people that was watching 15 hours of NFL football on Sunday. Now, today, I have cut back all my sports viewing where I only watch the Blue Jays. I don't watch any other baseball teams. I only watch the regular season. And if the Jays aren't in the playoffs, I don't really watch the playoffs. I may watch, a couple of World Series games, perhaps. And I watch the 4 golf majors, and I've decided I don't need any more sports than that in my life. I mean, I'm not boasting here. I'm just saying that I made a decision that this was saying something bad about me.
Yeah, right. I think there's the word you use, sports ball. I mean, that's something I'm seeing a lot among young men who are getting into some form of self-improvement, right?
Oh, you mean that you've seen that word, sports ball, used a lot?
Yeah,
Oh, it's an alt-right term.
Yeah, it's an alt-right term, but I've seen it in and I think a lot of alt-right guys are into self-improvement, right? Like, hey, if I'm supposed to have any dignity as a human being, maybe I should get in shape or stop being addicted to pornography, or
or be able to walk to the bathroom and come back and sit on the couch without sweating profusely.
Right. I've seen that a lot, right? I think alt-right is also has a lot of men that are rebelling against. They're rebelling against not just being force-fed their political views, but against being force-fed, kind of shallow culture, right? I mean, so you see them sometimes being a little bit nerdy about, I don't know, political history or Carlyle or, something like that.
I think Carlyle, that's just Moldbug.
Maybe that. But anyway, there definitely seems to be this little online culture of self-improvement that overlaps with some of the alt-right. I think I've seen sports ball referred to in like pickup artist forums or something like that, where there's men encouraging other men to get off the couch and do something with their lives.
Well, sports has a valuable function amongst men, which is this: that if you ever find yourself, in an airport lounge or in some sort of waiting room or in the motor vehicle department line, and you're surrounded by a bunch of strange men, well, if one of them talks about sports, then you got something to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sort of, I think the writer Thomas Fleming when he was at Chronicles referred to sports as soap opera for men. there's kind of this episodic quality to following a sports team and sort of getting to know all the little subplots and minor characters that go along with it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that maybe sabermetrics has largely killed that.